What does it mean to be match fit? So being match fit is more than just being able to hit forehands or backhands for 2 hours. Match fitness is a combination of being physically prepared, having tactical clarity and mental toughness that allows you to compete your best in a match when it counts. So I'm going to put down a few points that breaks down exactly what it means to be match fit, how that's different from training, and how you can avoid that dreaded saying, they're really good in practice, but they can't do it in a match. So number one, if you think about the sort of practice most people do, if you go along to any sort of tennis club in the world, what's the biggest type of practice you will see anyone doing? And it's either drilling, where a coach is feeding lots and lots of balls, or two people or maybe four people on a court, hitting the ball up and down the court for 50, 100 balls in a row, maybe trading forehands, whether it's cross court or down the line, and getting really, really good at tuning their strokes. So that's absolutely essential for building muscle memory. It's essential to learn your shot so that you don't have to think about how to do that in a match. When you want to hit a forehand cross court, you've practiced it enough that it just happens. But of course, match fitness is when you take those skills and you apply them under real match situations. So it's the difference between being able to hit 50 forehands in a row and not miss, and all of a sudden having to hit one forehand when you're 4-5 down and 30-40 down facing set point, and you need to hit that forehand cross court, because if you don't, you lose the set. So essentially, when you're practicing tennis, you need to make sure you're not just doing drilling, but you're also practicing, whether it's in live play or match practice, practicing those actual situations so that you're learning in a scoring, in a pressured situation, being able to execute strategies, tactics, and good decision making. But match fitness also means having a clear plan. I would kind of argue it's a little bit about knowing who are you as a player, and when you face a particular opponent, how do you intend to play them? So quite simply, how are you going to win points? If you go out there and say, I'm going to hit my amazing forehand cross court all the time, that's not necessarily going to win you points, especially if your opponent is savvy enough to know to say, they've got a great forehand, so I'll hit it to their backhand instead. So what's your pattern to win games? On your serve, what's going to be your strategy? Because it certainly can't be to hit that one single serve in the same place all the time. But then when you're serving as well, you can't just rely on hitting 130-mile-an-hour aces. The ball is going to come back. So when you serve, is it going to go out wide onto their weaker wing? And then when it comes back, are you going to step in and attack cross court and have those patterns? On return games, so they have a great serve, but you know that every once in a while they kind of have a dip, and that's when you're going to make sure you're there ready to capitalize on that. Essentially, being match fit means not just going on court and saying, I'm going to take my skills and see what happens. There are some players you arguably are probably good enough to be able to execute that type of strategy. For most of us, it just really isn't going to allow us to play our best. Instead, stepping on court with a strategy that you execute on, but which you adapt to as the match unfolds. Now, one clear thing as well is it's about understanding how to start a match. So a match doesn't just start with hitting the first ball. Simple things like at the coin toss. What's your strategy? Do you do what some people do and say, if I win the toss, I'll let my opponent serve first because it's likely to be their weakest service game? Or do you actually say, actually, I know that I can serve well from the off? But then also there's some good advice given by certain coaches who'll say, don't try and start your match at 100%. You're unlikely to be able to start straight away going out all guns blazing. So instead, go for maybe 70, 80%. Make sure you hit your shots, settle into your patterns, build your confidence and get your rhythm, but also send a clear message. I'm solid, I'm here, I'm ready. That early assurance and building that early momentum is often crucial. Then of course, probably one of the biggest tests of match fitness is the ability to handle pressure. What do you do when you're break point down? What do you do when you're facing a set point? What do you do when you're leading and the nerves kick in? Match fitness is knowing how to control those situations. how to either slow yourself down, calm yourself, take deep breaths, or maybe sometimes it's actually how to G yourself up, to give yourself a confidence boost, to swing properly through the ball. After all, if you've done your drilling and done your practice, then you should be able to have faith in your routines. You should know that you can do it. And instead of panicking, you just rely on a lot of the routines you'll also likely have built. Do the things that work for you, execute them well, and commit to them. After all, the best players, and they are the ones who will have played lots and lots of matches and always learned, they know how to use the pressure. In fact, they thrive on it. Another key part of being match fit is knowing that playing tennis isn't just about rallying and see what happens, it's about building points. So if your style of play, you describe yourself as a baseliner who likes to hit the ball up and down the court, that's not really building a point. That's more like rallying. In a match, every shot arguably needs to have a purpose because your opponent likely will be saying, the first chance I have to attack or expose a space that gets me on top, they're probably going to do so if they are a good opponent. So don't just hit balls, put them together. Simple patterns could be get it deep into the backhand corner, open up the court, come into the net, finish cross court into the forehand side. Match fitness means the ability to link shots together, build your patterns, but of course, being able to adapt on them based on what actually happens in the point. Match fitness doesn't mean turning up, seeing what happens, and relying on your opponent missing. Finally, being match fit means being emotionally prepared. It means being physically prepared. If you're not able to control your emotions, if you're not able to control your energy, if you're not able to last for potentially 2+ hours of matches, of lots of sprinting, lots of changing direction, using energy, but also getting that fatigue, what you get from having to be emotionally resilient in lots of challenging situations, then you're literally not going to be prepared to be fit for an entire match. But of course, that's where routines really help us. So one of the biggest enemies of people playing a good match is that they tend to rush. They don't take time between points. They don't breathe. They don't calm themselves down. They don't go and get the towel or look at their strings and visualize. They pick up a ball and immediately turn and serve while they're still breathing relatively fast with a high heart rate. They're not really managing their emotions and energy. Someone who is match fit will absolutely be doing that every single point. After all, match fitness isn't really about not playing with nerves. It's the ability to perform while nervous. And that's what separates great practice from great competitors. So to be truly fit, you need more than just fitness or drills. You need tactical clarity, mental resilience, emotional control, and the ability to build great points under pressure. So the next time you step onto a court, ask yourself, am I just hitting balls or am I competing with intent? And not just once in a while, but every single point. That's the real difference with being practice fit and match fit. Would love to get your thoughts and ideas on this. Are there particular things that help you with being match fit? Or are there times when you've stepped on court and thought, I know I'm a really good tennis player. I know that I've got great forehand, great backhand, but somehow I just couldn't pull it all together and I didn't feel that I was ready for the match. Put your thoughts in the comments.